guys, good evening. Welcome to Nighttime Studies with Nick. What's up, Don Wesley? This is episode 35 of my, what was previously more regular, lately, not so much, but not going away. I'll be back more often. What's up, Melissa Hayes? So I've been reading the book, Aligning with the Divine by Chantelle, Renee. I'll just show that again. This book is really fantastic. It's amazing. It's full of a bunch of information that really will transform lives while reading it. So, like, go pick it up. You know, Barnes and Noble. What's up, Nicole Lyons? Robert Brooker, Monica Cardozo. What's up? Welcome. Tonight, I'm not reading out of any chapters. Okay, so I'm gonna actually have Melissa Hayes, my friend Melissa Hayes, come on as a guest with me, and we are gonna. She also has the book. She's been through the book completely, front to back. She's really fun. You're gonna have a lot of fun with her, but also very, very spiritual, and really helps a lot of people with energy work, and exactly kind of what this book's about. Really, really great lady. I want to give a shout out to Chantelle, who just hopped on here. Welcome, Chantelle. This should be fun. Chantelle knows Melissa as well, so this is gonna be a good time. With that being said, we are going to start at the preface and just kind of go from there over what we've highlighted through the first couple chapters. Don't worry yet, Melissa. I'll send you the invite. And then kind of just talk about it. So what's up, Akuchi? Let me get her on here. Whoops.
Hi, Melissa. So guys, if you could, please share this out to your groups with your friends.
Hey,
What's up, Melissa?
what's
Welcome.
happening? How are you?
I'm fantastic. It was
Awesome.
great talking with you before we came on here. Kind of,
Of
we cheated a
course,
little bit. We
we
had a
did.
couple phone calls before getting on tonight.
Well, this is my first live. I've never even came on live. I'm
Well,
the more behind the scenes kind of girl.
hmm Well, it's great to have you. As we discussed earlier, I'm really excited to do this with you.
Well,
You
thanks.
yourself have talked to Chantelle. You know Chantelle.
Yeah.
You understand this book very well, and this is going to be great. You also do readings, oracle readings.
I do tarot and oracle, but I like to do oracle because it's more of like a guidance. They're guidance
hmm
cards.
Guidance cards, and you have a reading for us all tonight, right?
I do for the whole collective.
Outstanding. So we're going to get into that later. All right,
Awesome.
but let's touch a little bit about, I don't know. Some of the viewers may know you. I'm sure a lot of people who watch this may not. What would you like to say about yourself to those who don't know Melissa Hayes yet?
I'm just Melissa Hayes, and I live totally out of my heart space. That's where I'm at. I'm just
What better
me.
space to live, right?
I'm just me.
Awesome. What's up, Stacey Russo? So here's what we're gonna do. Um, Melissa, do you have your book handy?
I do. And I do have to say that I loved it, Chantelle. It was amazing.
I absolutely agree. By the way, if you have not gone out and bought this book yet, and I'm doing this because I
You
love
need
it,
it.
and Chantelle, you need to go pick this book up.
Indeed.
hmm hmm Please share this out, guys. Let us know if you shared it. And Melissa. So we're going to start kind of at the preface. Um, Let me get there. We can
That's
read the
her
note.
story. Yeah, that's her story.
Right, right. Um, So I'm going to read the note to the reader again. So this is the very first after the index. This is the very first message that this book offers. Note to reader. In this book, in order to be all-inclusive regarding religious and spiritual belief systems, I have referred to God as God. It is my hope that this symbolic usage will welcome and include all believers and seekers, those who believe in the Christian God in heaven as Lord of all creation, those who believe in the God of other monotheistic religions, and those who believe in God, the Creator, as universal spirit. If you believe in God as chaos, God as intrinsic in the human spirit, or even in God as goddess, this God is also yours. In the spirit of inclusiveness, I refer to God throughout this book as He, She, and as It. Please read God as the God of your own heart, soul, and faith system. Thank you, Chantelle. So, Melissa, I'm really excited to kind of have you lead this from, we all hear me talk a lot, but we don't hear you talk a
No,
lot.
you
I know
don't.
you have all this highlighted in your book. I'm going to follow along, but let's talk about highlights and what kind of, whatever you want to talk about.
Off of what you said, I'm not one that likes to say God. I like to say source or my higher power, which is meaning we're all one, we're all connected. We're all together. I don't think there's just like the one creator. I think we're all creating this universe.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
And
Chantelle addresses that
indeed.
in a way in the book, right? But I
Indeed.
love how it really it does kind of allow a way to read with an open mind. If you do have those set belief systems already in place, it allows
Indeed.
to be a good introduction for those that have been cautious about touching material with messages like this in it, right? So
Indeed.
that's what I love about how she really guides people through the journey of reading this book and ultimately implementing it in their life.
And I like the fact that when I read this book, it was like reading my own life, like reading what I've already went through with all my struggles and, everything that I triumphed over everything. This book is amazing. I think everyone should go buy this book just for the simple fact that it's like a chickadee check.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that book was for me, is a chickadee check. It was like, how did I already know all this? Because I didn't have anything like this. I didn't have anything to read. I didn't have any, guidance. I had people that helped me along the way, but I didn't have, this book. And this book would have helped me out immensely. And I really think that's one reason why everyone should actually read this book.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you think you are on your journey, I think everyone should read this book because it's going to help someone along the way. And if it's not going to help you, it's going to help you help someone else along the way.
It's a ripple, right?
Indeed. Planting seeds. We are planting seeds.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, Melissa, what highlights do you have when you open? I know you talked about this a lot when me and you were talking about how you highlighted specifics, and then you as you go.
Literally, like all through the book, everything
Mm-hmm.
that I've highlighted in here is literally just stuff that was like a chickadee check to me.
So
Like,
yeah, so I want to kind of pull out of you to help maybe with your story and how it's that all of this has impacted your life, and how it is helping other people, and the message also for anybody out there who would need or want this, not just this book, but, the life of living within your heart space, finding your, being in alignment, the fact that thoughts become things, and that gratitude and love, unconditional love, are the keys to freedom and prosperity here on earth, and
Your
understanding
thoughts
that
are everything.
we're vibrational beings, and that we attract unto us what we're thinking, and the level of frequency we're on, and what comes to us. But like people like, this is hard for a lot of people to understand. And then I sense, Melissa, a lot of comparing has start to happen. Well, then when the next thing you know, we're diagnosing. When I got this, so I'm gonna tread lightly here, but like when I started getting this information to me, I started looking around. I would compare myself. Like, okay, so how's this working for this person, or this person, or this person? So when I started entering into this, really the spiritual awakening journey,
Hmm.
and an understanding of the universal laws of the universe, the law of attraction, I really, Abraham Hicks had a big impact on me, and that was thanks to two of my closest friends, one of them being a Reiki um, practitioner herself, working with me, and just
Hmm.
being blessed with that. But for when I get to in conversation with some people, and they look at me like I'm crazy, and
We are crazy.
so did you experience any of that? And for those that are watching, all my friends, that want a better understanding of what we're even talking about. Sure, people and other folks within our groups, they know what we're talking about,
Oh
but
yeah.
there are a lot of people out there who have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, I'm sure they do know. They just don't want to do the work. They don't want to
Okay.
put forth the effort in, being their true authentic selves, and that's okay. We're all on our own journey. We're all doing this at our own pace. No one's better. No
Hmm.
one's less. We're all the same, and we need to realize that, we all are one. We all are connected, and we're supposed to be helping each other. We're supposed to be living out of our heart space, our true, authentic selves.
Hmm.
That's what we want. I love walking around every day, in my little bubble, knowing that, nothing anyone says or does is going to affect me emotionally, physically, mentally. I've totally, I'm in that space and I'm
Hmm.
good there. I like it there. And
I know you do.
everyone, I know once everyone gets to this point, they're going to say, I don't want to leave. You don't want to go back outside that space. You want to be in your heart space. You want
Mm.
to be your true authentic self. You want to show that love and compassion. I will tell you, through my journey, the compassion and my ego was the worst. Like, I just fought and fought, and it's not that I didn't understand what compassion was. It was more that, you know how are you supposed to show compassion to someone when you can't even show compassion to yourself?
That's
If
right.
you do not love yourself, you cannot show love, you cannot show compassion.
Hmm.
You cannot be aligned with that divine, because you're not in your heart space. You're not in your own space. You're in everyone else's. You're conforming to societies. You're conforming to governments. You're conforming to religions. We're watching news. I don't even watch TV anymore. I mean, TV is literally a thing in my past.
Hmm.
I don't even know what TV shows are playing anymore. The radio, I mean, very seldom I'll go back and be like, oh, I remember listening to this or whatnot. And then I'm just like, okay, back to my meditation. So,
Real
I mean,
joy
like I
there.
said, it literally is, everyone is on their own path. And I like to tell people, I don't care who they are, I am always here. I am always here. I'm on Messenger. If you need me, I'm here. Like, literally, that's where I am. If you need me, I am here.
Awesome. I just want to welcome everybody who's joined. There's a lot of people here, a lot of comments.
Hi,
We're
guys.
not ignoring you, um,
They
but
go too
welcome.
fast. I can't even see them.
I know. So let's see if we have any questions. Um, I'm trying to find, I lost where I was at, honestly. So, hello, Cinnamon. She said, hey, Nick and Melissa.
Oh, hey,
Chantelle says, I love
Cinnamon.
you both. Thank you for being
Oh,
here.
and we love
Thank you,
her.
Chantelle. Yes, we do. Hello, Matt Flores. Amy
Hey,
Carlson, what's up?
Matt.
Alonzo, what is up? Okay, so see if there's any questions in here. Virginia says, hello, everyone. How are you? All
Hi,
you beautiful
Virginia.
souls doing tonight? I love it.
Yes, all of you beautiful souls. You know who you are.
Hello, Erica. So if you guys have any questions for Melissa or even for myself, feel free to please comment below. What is up, Natalia? Good to see you in here. Anita Long, hello. So, fun fact in my life, I getting up early in the morning,
Coochie.
and will be boarding my flight, and I'll be heading to Miami.
Whoop,
So I will be
whoop.
in Miami tomorrow, and then boarding my ship and heading to the Bahamas. So excited.
Exciting. Exciting. At least you'll be in the sun. It won't be raining like it is here.
And you're in Utah, so
Yes, and it's been raining
it's
all day long.
it's raining here as well in
Hey, but guess
Nebraska,
what?
but
It's still shining.
it's always shining, right?
Exactly.
Um, so M Melissa, when I say contrast, you say
Polarity.
so. I when we talk about like contrast, the negative, and shifting our paradigm, right?
Mm-hmm.
To do that, and an inch for for those who are just kind of working into this, or even for those that have been been living this way for a long time, but kind of because we're still human beings. What we don't practice, we kind of lose. And I would say that there's daily work involved with staying in alignment, obviously.
It's always
So,
work. You never stop. You
mhm,
you always get new things, and you're always learning, and you're always growing. You can still be one with yourself and still be learning. You don't have to stop at that. It's not like we're at the end of the road and it's like, oh, I've became myself, my one self, my true authentic self, and that's where it ends. That's
mhm.
not how it works.
So
You
now
have
we're
to
touching on,
constantly, yes, work on yourself.
and
Constantly.
understand that it's a journey, that we were
Indeed.
on a journey. We you
We
hit on,
signed up for this. We
we
signed
did.
up for this.
How did we sign up for this?
Our past lives, we've went through this. It's something that we all signed up for. Not everyone, like I said, not everyone's going to understand anything that I would say, but we're here for us. I mean, you were here, you were put here for a reason, and everything happens for a reason. And the biggest thing I can say is live in the now. Don't live for yesterday, something that happened when you were a child. I mean, none of that is important right now. What is important is you right now, as being your one, being your true authentic self, because all of that is just thoughts. It's done. It's over with.
Hmm, it's really great.
Indeed.
Cinnamon says, if you can't practice what you preach, then sit in silence and make sure
Indeed.
your actions match your words.
Indeed.
Flip your thinking into preach what preach what you no yeah preach what you practice. I've heard that term. Preach what you practice, not
Practice
practice
what you
what you preach.
preach. Yeah.
Preach what you practice.
You're
It's different
confusing me,
from
Nick.
it's different from practice from what you preach. It really is. Anyway,
I believe
hello,
all it is a
Virginia.
thought. It,
Hmm.
it is all coming from your thought. Whatever you think turns into your reality. I mean, if you want to get to down to the gist of it, everything you think becomes reality. If you wake up angry in the morning, you're going to have a bad day. You wake up happy, you're going to have a good day. I mean, you have control over your life. No one else, just you.
It's pretty powerful to know and have to accept.
Well, and we should
But
all accept it. We
freeing,
were all
but
born with it.
freeing, we were. We were. But
We
it's
had all of
freeing.
this.
It's when you break through that, that's when you find freedom. That's when you're able to truly like establish boundaries for yourself in this, this physical experience. But like you can learn to just go with the flow and shift through
Just be in your
the
heart
things.
space.
Yeah.
Be in your heart space.
There's nothing to fear.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing to be afraid of. You can take risks and not fear something bad happening, because if you stay in alignment and if you're staying, at a higher frequency, you're going to get, whatever, you're going to get that abundance
But you have to
of
go through the
love.
pain and
And
suffering to get to your true authentic self. You have to actually feel all those feelings. It's like the polarity again. It's like the yin and yang, the black and white, light, dark, whatever you want to call it. Everything has to be aligned, and it has to be in that heart center.
mhm,
You need
yeah,
both of those. It doesn't mean you have to stay in, your dark self or your light self, but we all have it. We all could be dark if we wanted to be.
well, what we possess is the power that created the universe within us.
We are the universe, mister.
Exactly. I
Indeed.
understand, my knowing is that we are extensions of source energy. And when I hear it broken down in many different ways under the understanding of God, ultimately the difference is disconnecting from that
Indeed.
versus staying in alignment with that. And you're right, going through struggle, but that's the contrast that we came here to experience. That's what we need to understand.
Well,
It's not an accident that we're
Cassie had a
experiencing that.
question.
Yeah.
How can I help my husband make a choice to be positive? I practice it all the time, but he seems to lean towards negative. I'm committed, but it's getting old. You can't make
So,
a horse drink water.
well, let's not make this about him. We are
Exactly.
mirror images. Everything is a mirror of ourselves. What is within him is within you. So instead of looking outward, look inward. So when we talk about being in the heart space, there's work to that. And it's taking your focus off the external, off the circumstances, and putting it, rolling those eyes backwards and looking within. Because what you're seeing within him, you possess within you. And that's what you need to find and discover and get the
You
understanding and knowing
you
of.
can't change anyone but yourself. And if they don't want to change and you don't like what they're doing, get out of their space.
Hmm.
And love yourself enough to not allow those type of people in your space. Because your space is sacred. It is your divine sacred space. And you have total authority over that space.
Hmm. But it's controlled from within. We're energy. Our vibrations rattle everything around, every molecule around us, and it creates that ripple around us,
Mm-hmm.
which puts us in. So if we're lower vibration, we're always going to have the negative around us. We're always going to be attracting that. Well, that's like a magnet to
Mm-hmm.
whatever more emotion we're on. So
Exactly.
if you're feeling joyous and happy, you're going to attract more of that unto you until you
Indeed.
shut it off with the negative emotion. So your emotions are your guides, truly. But to get there, that's your internal guidance system leading you. It's not your gut feeling. That's the bed of your soul. And
I
that's
go
where
off my intuition. My
that's
intuition
that's the
is
heart.
everything.
Melissa, check it out. So that's where I'm getting to. That is your heart space. So when we're talking about the bed of your soul, your gut instinct, that's being in your heart space. That's where your internal guidance system is. That's your
Mm-hmm.
connection to source energy. So when
Indeed.
you're in your heart space, that's where the knowing is. That's where the truth is. That you can't be misled. So when we talk about following your intuition and being in your heart space, that's what it means. But you can't get there by looking externally. You have to look internally.
Mm-hmm.
It's within. It's never external. You're the
Indeed.
creator of the external. When you, like, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing around you. You are the creator of the external. And what's amazing is when you start to live that, and then you see the reaction of those around you, they're dumbfounded on how the results and the things that are happening to you, but it's not happening to them. But then that ripple, that positive ripple, hopefully is either going to make a positive impact on them, or it's going to get you around better people that's going to keep raising you up.
Yeah,
Ultimately
together
getting more to the happy life that you're ultimately chasing anyway, but you're not getting there.
we can co-create
Hmm.
the whole world, into love, peace, unity, harmony. We could all co-create. And that's when not a lot of people understand that, us working together. I noticed on a lot of the groups that I'm in, they like to use labels, and they like to segregate people. They like to say, oh, well, you can't post because you're not an authorized reader, or you're not this, or you're not that. And what they don't understand is, instead of keeping people away from us talking, we need to actually allow everyone to talk, and it doesn't mean you need to believe everything everyone is saying, but that's showing compassion. That is being in your space, that love space, to say, everyone has a voice and everyone wants to be heard. So co-creating is very important. And I hope a lot of the collective understand that, we need to come together. It's not about who's better, or, who's not, or who's further, or who's an empath, or who's a psychic, because we were all born with these abilities. We're just not capable of using them all because we're not there yet in our journey. We're not open enough to, just let all of that in. But I do know one thing: we all got this.
Hmm.
We do.
Everything's happening for us. Everything's happening for us. Nothing's happening to us.
Mm-hmm.
What is creating around us is the result that of what we have thought and what we are. So
Mm-hmm.
we are the work. Nothing external is the work. The internal is the work. And I want to give a shout out to Julie Gabos, good friend of mine. She's also one that, I'm blessed to have it in my circle of friends, who's very understanding of this as well, and really helps me, like, I have my circle of friends, by the way, who help me stay, up and grounded at the same time. Like, one of the first comments you had mentioned to me tonight, Melissa, was you
You need
need
to ground
to ground yourself.
yourself. I felt it too. I was like, whoo, Nick, you got to ground yourself. I was like, I could feel that. You were definitely pulsating. It was all good though. It was excited energy, so you're good.
Good to know. Good to know. So, we have some. Let's get back to the comments a little bit. Welcome everybody who's just joining. If you could please share this out to your groups. Invite your friends. Um, this is Nighttime Studies with my guest, Melissa Hayes, and I've been reading the book Aligning with the Divine by Chantelle Renee. And Chantelle is a friend of ours.
She's
But more
amazing.
than that, what's in this book is life changing. So I encourage you to go to your local Barnes and Noble or bookstore and pick up a copy. Whoops, I just knocked some papers off my desk. Shared, thank you, Susan Day, for sharing. You're welcome, Julian.
Hi, Susan.
What is up, Anthony Lang? He says, feed the positive energy and neglect the negative vibration in our minds. But I want to speak on that for a moment. So
Okay.
what I thought was like that I always had to shift my thoughts to being positive, like, no, ignore the negative, But what I was getting, what's up, Lenore Johansson? Welcome, my friend. What I was being told by one of my what should we call her, my friend, Lindsay, was that no, you're stuffing it. when you do that. You're stuffing it. You got to do the work. So what I wasn't understanding, so when we're talking about positivity and gratitude, just get yourself there. Well, how? There's different ways how, but the understanding that, first of all, not ignoring your emotions is ignoring your emotions is not one of them. You know what I mean? You have to be able to identify what is going on. So when you have emotions, you need to really look within yourself and diagnose what sparked that emotion, what triggered that emotion. And if it's something that is happening, that's when you can now deal with it and let it go.
That's self-love.
Mm-hmm.
That is self-love.
Anita Long, the book is called Aligning with the Divine by Chantelle Renee. Welcome everybody. Thank you for all the shares, and we're getting to your comments here. We are going to have an oracle card reading for the collective by Melissa, and a little towards the end of our live. Feel free to ask any questions, comment, get some interaction going. Feel free to hit the buttons if you like, love, hate, whatever. Thanks for the love. So Ease Elizabeth says, yes, I've sworn I have felt some psychics feeling they are better than others. It's a shame. I mean, ultimately, if we're on the same, we're here to create expansion. We can't all be robots in a line. We all have our different paths. What I choose and what's been hard for me to get to, and I'm still, we're always a work in progress, right? But comparing myself to others, if we're in that space, all I need to be concerned about is whether I'm in that space or not. It ultimately doesn't matter what others are doing. And when I get into that, I get out of alignment, and then I start attracting what I don't like about others onto myself, and start getting the results that those other people that I'm judging are getting.
That's mirroring. That's mirroring.
Mm-hmm. So understanding that and not comparing, my Facebook Lives, when I first started doing Facebook Lives, I was a nervous wreck, and I was watching all these brilliant human beings and professionally doing this stuff, and I'm like, but that's who I'm watching because that's who I want to learn from, right? And I'm like, wow, I don't want to hit this live button. But then I had to stop. I'm like, whoa, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And then I realized that that's my life every day. You got to wake up. You got to start somewhere. So then I have little rituals that I do, throughout my day. But I'm learning to live with intent within the day, within the moment,
the now, living in the now.
And, being okay if I have some flare-up, some negative emotion come along, or, contrast affects me a little differently than staying perfectly in alignment. It happens to me. What I do with it when it comes is my choice. But what I need to know is that I'm accountable for any results that come from anything from my, handling of things. You know what I'm saying?
And we need not to judge.
Mm-hmm.
We have no
Correct.
right to judge anyone.
And that includes yourself. Be easy on yourself. Self-talk is another very important thing to understand. One of the best medicines is positive affirmations.
Indeed.
Jerry and Esther Hicks said, I believe it was, and I might mess this up, but the two things they started to do, meditate and use positive affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're aware of who Esther and Jerry Hicks are, and then Abraham Hicks, then meditation 30 minutes a day and positive affirmations to reverse the psyche of how you talk to yourself, the subconscious. And that's why when you said you don't watch the news or anything anymore, I started filtering what I let even flow into me, the music. I had to, because I wanted to clear everything. Mm-hmm. I wanted to clear some space.
Well, you have to.
I could allow more to come in, and so that way I could really start to experience and decide what it is I want, not only what I want, but what I'm here to do.
And
And then it's
that's
starting to find
clearing out
balance with,
blockages.
yeah,
That's
well,
clearing out your blockages.
yes, but we only have so much space within us, right?
Hmm.
Like if we're full, we're full. We can't,
Indeed.
and if we're full of all negative, we're down a scary path.
Oh yeah.
But if we start to clean some of that out, now we can fill it with, one's better than none, right? One
Exactly.
positive thing. Clear
Exactly.
out the next thing, but be grateful for that one positive thing that just entered. If everything's negative in your life, discard one negative habit that you've been doing, fill it with one positive habit, and then stay grateful for the positive result you already know it's going to bring, and just focus, on being grateful, and then visualizing the next positive thing coming in, and get descriptive with it. Start tricking your mind into
Indeed.
thinking and acting differently than you ever have before. And the coolest part is, it isn't thinking harder or working harder. It's quieting your mind and breathing.
Exactly.
How hard is that? Anybody can do that, right?
Yeah. Do
That
you
doesn't
meditate
cost you
on the
money
fly?
either.
Do you
That doesn't
meditate on the
cost you
fly?
money.
Yeah, it's free. It's
A
definitely
little bit of
free.
coaching to really be good at it might, but it's at some point investing in yourself's worth it. But no, seriously, like, it's just breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth.
Maria says hello. Could not see it.
Um,
I'm not sure what she
Vena
can't
says,
see.
I'm not either. Vena says everyone is on their own journey. Respect the collective journey and the duality.
Indeed.
Virginia, yes, that is very true. We are all very blessed beings. There's always a flow. Like, I believe Source is purely positive, and when we are in alignment, it's like, I think of it like an electrical board. To get eight, I love the term, I love the description by, I'm referencing again Abraham Hicks, with the toaster. You are the toaster, but the toaster doesn't work. It doesn't work well. It doesn't operate like it's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
without its connection to source, its power source, right? Well, so think of yourself as a toaster, and to get and be in an alignment is plugging in to your source. So allowing that, so I think of it this way now. So if it's always flowing to me, why is it not giving to me? And here's resistance. So when you have a resistance, it's like turning the light switch off. You're cutting free from that connection to source.
Mm-hmm.
So the flow is no longer coming to you. So it's about turning the light switch back on, connecting back with source, and allowing the flow to flow in and through you again.
Mm-hmm. And creating
And
that
to me,
balance.
that's alignment.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the balance. That's what's aligning you, is the balance.
Mm-hmm.
The polarity in everything. We all have to be like there. That is your heart center. That is you being
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Completely. That's where the magic happens
it's as
too.
easy as saying that. It's as easy as
Mm-hmm.
saying, this is what I think, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I believe. I mean, you don't need all these other branches. I kind of explain it like, for us, we're like a tree, and we should be those roots. We should be firmly grounded and attached. Okay? All of these things that are coming out, like twin flames and just all this other crap. I call it crap because that's what it is. It's crap. It's stuff that we're branching off that's not even necessary. The true key is self-love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is the key. I mean, if you want the key to everything, anyone's talking about or you hear on the groups, it is self-love. That is where you have to start. You have to start with yourself.
It's a must. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not being selfish, but it's being selfish. It's being selfish.
No.
It's being selfish so you can be selfless. You can't be
Exactly.
selfless without being selfish.
That's why
You
I'm
got to
saying I think this
reverse
would help.
engineer your life. Mm-hmm.
This would help a lot of people. I think this would help a lot of people if they would just read it. It makes it'll make them understand a little better. Like I said, there are people that have already went through it and that already know, but at the same time, it's nice to know that someone else is going through the same thing. or went through the same thing to get to where they're going on their journey, makes me think that, yes, we are doing it as a collective. We are co-creating, we are doing what we need to do. We're transcending all of our past limitations, into limitless possibilities. I mean, we could be just right there. It's so strange to say that, just that one thought can change your whole life. One thought.
Yes. One thought given attention for 17 seconds creates another thought, which it's a cycle of momentum. Next thing you know, you're caught up in the rat race and you don't even know it. So that's why
Indeed.
it's the importance of meditation and quieting the mind. It's awesome when your thoughts are rolling positively, but what happens when they're not? Meditation. And then getting in your heart space, forgiveness, swallowing the pride pill, excuse me, I said that backwards. swallowing that pride, and forgiving and understanding it's not about them. But you know what, if it's positive for them, why would you not want that? Why would you not
As
want
above and
positivity for
so
others?
below. As
Because if
above
you're
and so
positively
below.
affecting other people, how can that negatively affect you? But if you're negatively affecting other people for personal positive gain, I don't think you're going to end up with the results that you think you're shooting for there. You may get the money, you may get the whatever it is, but ultimately, if you're not operating from your heart space or with, true intent in the loving, you know, whatever, the good space, your heart space,
Well,
you're
you got
not
to
going to
be
get a
careful
positive
with your
result. You're going
thoughts
to
too.
negatively hurt other people. It's going to be a negative ripple around, and then next thing you know, you're going to be caught up blaming everybody around you when it still was created by you. Yes. So what we're talking about, and I was kind of getting lost in thought, is the importance of self-awareness and accountability, but forgiveness and love.
Don't forget
Combining
compassion.
together.
Compassion
Compassion,
is
yes.
like one of those number one things that a lot of people don't have. And it's because of society. It's because of the news. It's because of all these things that people are watching, that people are conforming to. These thoughts were put into our head, the minute we were born. Our moms, our dads, the news, everything, all these thoughts were put into our heads, and we thought that was okay. Oh, you're not supposed to have short hair if you're a girl. You're supposed to wear this and you're supposed to wear that. And oh, if you wear this and you're that. All these thoughts were put into our heads, and that's how we've been living our lives is, in that conformity. They conform us in school. We never had an option in school. You went to school, you took this class, you took this class, you took this class, and we were all the same. It was all like we were in a boot camp ourselves, but it was school. They never let anyone shine. They never let people actually study. People need to be in touch with their creative selves. That is what is going to make you come out of your shell, is you doing what you love to do most. If it's music, play music. If you like to sing, sing. Do what you like for you, because it's going to make a difference, because you're giving yourself self-love. You're believing in yourself. You're believing that you can do something. That you're not limited to all those other beliefs. You're believing in yourself.
Yeah, it's important. I think just
Indeed.
believing in general. I like the reference to go along with what you were speaking on, living in fear versus faith, and the fact that, both are not physically here. Both take your imagination.
Indeed.
One puts you in a negative vibration, puts you in negative vibrations, lowering your frequency. One lifts you up. And they're both
Indeed.
ultimately up to you. You literally choose. You get to choose. There's always a Y in the road. You get to choose what you think. Nobody else controls your thoughts.
You
You do.
always have a choice. Always.
So that's
And you
why,
have the choice.
mhm,
You have that choice.
mhm.
And I think a big thing too is having those positive affirmations every day. You know, sometimes you just need to be reminded, or remind yourself, you know, that life can be positive. You know,
Yep.
I can definitely say my whole life was, oh my gosh, it was horrible. It was horrible up till the last couple years when I started working on my true authentic self. You know, before that was hell. I mean, I remember I never went anywhere. I laid in bed. I was always depressed. They had me on tons and tons of medication just to shut me up because they didn't understand what I was saying. You know, they looked at me like, oh gosh, you know, what is wrong with that girl? And what is, you know, where'd she come up with this stuff? And, you know, they looked at me like something was wrong with me. So I never got to be my true authentic self because, you know, the adults in my life stopped me from being my true authentic self. I didn't have an option. If I said something, they're like, oh, yep, let's send her to the mental hospital. Or let's put her on medication. I now can say that I do not take any medications. I do not buy any over-the-counter drugs. I do not buy anything. Everything is holistic. I use oils or just my own thought. We all can heal ourselves. And by being in those higher vibrations, you're never sick. You don't feel the sickness because you're in those higher vibrations.
You are correct. But again, we we all are on our own timelines. You know,
Indeed.
it you know, Melissa's where Melissa's at. I'm where I'm
Indeed.
at. Me and Melissa
Exactly.
are in two different places. You
And
know,
neither place is wrong.
physically and spiritually, and because you know we're on two different journeys. You were on
Indeed.
your own journey. You know, we
Indeed.
are all on our own path. So you know, the the thing is, I believe, um, to change is being open, honest, and willing.
And another big
And
thing, trust the universe.
well, you know what's funny about that? That's the page I had open right now.
That is funny, but I'm saying you need to trust the universe and give it all away. I mean, I have perfect example. Um, I lost my job. I lost my car because it was a work car. My other car got stolen. I mean, I was going through all these like horrible things, but all these horrible things turned into amazing. Okay. I ended up, you know, no job. I still bought a car. I got a car. You know, I still have a place to live. You know, I'm still doing what I do on the daily basis. But I literally had to give up everything. I've sold everything in my house. You know, I've been letting everything go just to prove a point to say that, you know, all of this stuff is materialistic. None of it is going with us. You know, there's no amount of money that I would want to trade to not be in my heart space, to not be living, you know, as my true authentic self. I don't
Mhm.
want to be anywhere else. And if I have to be in this space, you know, by myself, I'm good with that. You know, I'd much rather co-create with everyone else. But like I said, I mean, if you can't make a horse drink water.
You can lead them to the tank, though. Let me
Oh,
read
sure.
this. Let me read this. It's funny how you said trust the universe. I opened the book to page 15 of Aligning with the Divine, and it says trust the universe. And then I'm going to read this. When we are open and trust the universe is on our side, we are in alignment and we become magnets for the manifestation of our intentions. The most important facet of this process is to be grounded in gratitude for all that you already have, because simply existing at all is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
So I read a comment. I saw a comment scroll through, and I do not disagree. There's no disagreement in the comment. The comment is factual, actually. You know, some people. Well, where is it? I'm looking for it. Ah, a lot of comments. Okay, sorry guys. I really want to find this comment. Some don't have freedom to do what makes them happy at all times. Vena says this. Some don't have freedom to do what makes them happy at all times. I say that it's never dependent on the circumstances around us. And if we can accept that to be true, that allows us the ability to, no matter where we are, no matter what's going on around us, to shift our paradigm into putting us in the space that we want to be after a circumstantial change, before the circumstantial change, and instead create the change. Literally create your reality. I don't believe there are limitations. And I see in things like this, understanding of, some people don't have this, some people do. We all have enough. We all came here knowing what we were getting ourselves into. We are extensions of source energy. We are all knowing, infinite, limitless beings.
Indeed.
We may not be able to win the lottery overnight. I'm not saying that. Maybe it's not what we're meant to do at that point in our lives. And if we can accept that to be truth, then we can learn to appreciate the life that's going on around us, appreciate the contrast, the fact that we can start learning from this stuff and stop judging what's going on around us, stop judging situations, stop judging people, stop justifying running from ourselves, from
and
who
know,
we truly are.
Yeah, and know that everything happens for a reason. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing. It's either a lesson or a blessing.
It's both. Everything's a blessing if you see it as that. That's the other thing. Look, guys, it's all our thoughts. How do you see it? And how does it make you feel? When you realize that your thoughts create your emotions, right?
Exactly.
Start here, listen to the right things, listen to the audio books, read this material, buy this book, watch these audios, connect with these people, go to these groups, and literally, somebody's calling you.
I know. Sorry about that, guys.
No, it's good. It's a message from the universe.
Saying, hey.
Cinnamon said, okay. Hello, Clayton Kennedy. Welcome. For all that are just tuning in, this is Melissa Hayes. I am Nick Harris. This is Nighttime Studies with Nick. Episode 35. I read a chapter out of a book every night. This is a little different structure tonight, but that's okay. I was also more regular. Lately, I haven't been able to. I'll become more regular with my shows again, at least 2 to 3 nights a week. But this we are now reading Aligning with the Divine by Chantelle Renee. So, yeah. Melissa, let's get into the Oracle card readings.
Indeed.
Hello, Melissa Jones.
I usually do these on Facebook. I don't know, a lot of people probably see that I post, my Oracle cards. And I usually do it as a collective. When I do readings, it's for, the collective. It's usually not for one person unless I'm doing like a one-on-one.
So do you want to tell everybody, for those that don't know, what an Oracle reading is?
It's just a guidance. It's for guidance. It's to help you along your journey. The cards are, I think everything that comes through my cards comes through source. It's not coming from me. I'm not actually I'm reading your cards, but I'm not reading your cards, if that makes sense. It's coming from source. The source energy. And it's amazing. It's amazing. They are amazing. It's just another tool. And we have lots of tools.
We do.
We do. Okay, the first card we have is the Journeyman. adventure, independence, polishing of skills, and travel. It's in the reverse. It says, when the energy is blocked, we may feel unable to move forward. There can be two reasons for this. It may be that such a journey is inappropriate at this time or should be delayed until uncertain circumstances are met, or it may mean that we are delaying ourselves with our own fear. If you are satisfied that your journey is on the right direction for you, prepare for it carefully. If you have not done so, go for it. You know, there's nothing stopping you. Go for it. I mean, you don't need to wait for anyone. You know, you're doing this for yourself. And again, that comes with self-love. You know, being one with yourself.
I love it.
All right. The next card we have is the Dark Lady. Unconscious power and wisdom, rituals, mysteries, and secrets. We may reach the realm of the Dark Lady through grief, through deep surrender, through ecstasy, or through profound ritual. This card in a reading suggests that it is time to withdraw from our ordinary world, to revitalize ourselves through retreat and surrender to the source. Unity and the Song of Exodus. It's a time for preparation, rebirth, and restoration and regeneration. So literally, you know, working on ourselves and being one with ourselves. It's telling us that we actually need to do the work. It is not just going to come to you. You're not just going to wake up one day and say, oh, I did it. No. You have to feel all those feelings. You have to go through it. You have to know. And that's why we are all on our own journeys, because we all have to feel different things, because we have all felt different things in our life. Just because something happened to one person doesn't mean it's happened to someone else yet. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen to them. It just means that, you know, they're on their journey, and when it's time for them to be where they need to be at, that's where they'll be.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Indeed. We have indecision, wishy-washy, commitment, and decision-making. It's in the reverse. It's saying you may not have enough information for this decision. To hesitate while you question, find out more. We never really have any real guarantees from the universe about our decisions, so choose them wisely. Okay, you need to consider your decision. It's your choice. You have a choice. It doesn't have to be because someone else said so. It means that you have a choice. And oh no, my battery is going to die.
Do you have a charger?
I do, but I'm going to have to take phones. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. Let's see. The next card we have is the Friends card, and it's in the reverse. When you stand this card on its head, it's tangled up in himself and thinks he is naughty. Things don't go well then. There may be spats, misunderstandings, and disagreements. You may have quarrels over nothing much, or riffraffs occur. It's time to sort those things out. Again, it's time to get in touch with your friends. It's time to reach out. It's time to ask questions. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. Okay, you can ask anything. I don't care if it's, oh, what color's your shirt? It's not a stupid question. You don't know. You want to know the answer? Ask. Because you're never going to find out if you don't ask. And again, like I said, I'm always here. I'm always here. Maybe I can help you with that answer.
And don't fear the answer, embrace the answer.
Exactly.
Be excited about the answer.
Exactly.
Be excited about seeking.
Be excited about life in general. Life is amazing. People are amazing. Okay, this one's also in the reverse. Sunken treasure, discover of self, and adventure. Bored, tired of the same old thing? A question we must ask ourselves is that, are we boring or are we bored? The message here is to try to suggest that, you know, we're stuck. it's telling us we're stuck. We're stuck in our own energies. We're stuck in our own thoughts. We're stuck in our own conformities. And you need to get out of your box. You cannot stay in that box. You cannot grow. You cannot, be your one true self if you don't get out of your box. And yes, Vanny, stay humble. You do have to stay humble. Just do it. We got this.
Stop fighting.
Exactly. It's pushing right now, I think, with all the energies that are going around, it's pushing us out of our comfort zones. And it's trying to make us be our true authentic self so we all can be in our own heart spaces, because love is what's going to save the world.
That's right.
Love. Unconditional
And
love.
the difference that you don't even know you're making around you with just feeling love in your heart, being in your heart space, feeling gratitude, forgiving, feeling that compassion, that feeling you get sets off into motion and an effect around the world that you don't even know
Indeed.
how big it is.
And yes, Susan, you are worthy. I love you. Himself, natural law, life force, magic, and power. When himself appears in the spread, he is not only indicating that there's a great amount of energy that's present in this reading, but he also strongly energizes the cards around him. Everything he touches becomes more of whatever it is. More alive, more vigorous, more powerful, more awesome, or more awful. This card in a reading can indicate great vitality, victory, or triumph, confidence, and power. There is a leadership and ability to command, steadfast, and integrity. Wild power held, channeled, is all by goodwill. You have to accept it. The energy, you have to accept this energy. Energy is energy, and we're all energy. It's flowing through us, and we need to accept that there are those energies and that it can all flow together. And we can all have the same powers, like I was explaining earlier. We were all born, with the same talents. We all had what we needed to begin with. We didn't need anything more, and we didn't need anything less. We were given everything we needed, the day we were born.
And we came here knowing the intent of coming here. We knew we were like basically erasing our memory from who we are to come into this physical experience, to experience the contrast, to create expansion, to, literally, to be loving, kind human beings. I used to struggle with the fact that there was negative people. How is that possible if we're all positive? But it's going through that creates us into the beings that, just like you said earlier, to get us into our heart space, to get us into that understanding, we have to go through the struggle.
And we need that spiritual healing. We need that spiritual healing.
Vena says, don't agree with having to accept anything. I agree. I don't think you have to accept anything.
No, you don't. No, and that's again your choice.
If I phrased that, then
you have a choice.
If I said that, then I was wrong. Yep.
Okay. This is the last card. A collective of pixies, and it's in the reverse. Duty, willingness, joyful participation, and virtue. It says, when pixies haven't enough to do, they tend to get into mischief together. They decide they ought to lead the travelers astray. So make sure that everyone involved know that they are expected to do here and that they have enough work to keep them busy, but not to overload yourself. So again, working on yourself. We're on the right path. As long as you're working on yourself and you're working towards that, being your true, authentic self, you've got it. I mean, you've got it. We've got it. You know, they're just blessings. I think all of these are blessings.
I think you can choose to believe whatever makes you happy, content, and puts you in your heart space. It
Indeed.
really doesn't matter. You can believe all different kinds of things and still feel joyous, happy, and free. Whatever
Exactly.
gets you there, follow it. Follow your heart. That's your guide.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I feel a strong like energy from people feeling like they need to defend their beliefs. Here's the thing. Number one, if you feel like the need to defend your beliefs, do you really believe what you believe? Number two, if you feel the need to defend your beliefs, you don't believe them enough.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I truly believe in going with what makes you feel good. What follow your heart, you know.
Indeed. And think big.
Hmm.
Think big.
So
I'm just trying to read some of these.
yeah, I'm kind of watching the scroll of myself and enjoying the silence. I do want to actually, guys, a friend Jeremy Rubin, I know, aka the Friendly Flipper. I know some of you know him. If you don't know him, he's a fabulous human being. But I do want to. His younger brother passed away, and so I don't personally view death. You know, I believe that we come here as pure positive energy and we leave here as pure positive energy. You know, but having said that, I would like to, in respects to Jeremy and his family for the loss of their brother and son, have like a moment of if we could all kind of just send out our positive thoughts, prayers, however, to Jeremy Rubin, his family, and his brother, who just passed away. Thanks, guys. Um, so, Melissa, it's been amazing having you on here tonight.
Well, thank you.
We've had so many viewers. Thank you guys all for your interactions. If we did not get to the comments, I do apologize. I'm not, I'll be honest with you, they were coming through really fast. And as being in conversation and in the moment, I do overlook them. I do apologize. It's not personal. Um, I am gonna, we're gonna go ahead and end here. I do want to have you on again, Melissa. I know you don't go live very often, but I think people like you.
Oh, okay.
And I love you, and you
Oh,
have
I love
a
you too.
fabulous message, you know, and it's just great to have you um, as a friend for
Well,
sure.
thank you for having me, and it's awesome to have you as a friend also, Nick. And Chantelle, you are amazing, love. You are amazing. Just had to tell her.
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
just had to tell her that.
Thank you. Thank you, Chantelle. If you guys are not connected with Chantelle, please connect with Chantelle. Follow her page, Chantelle Renee. I tag her page on all of my lives
Indeed.
during this book. Please, Chantelle, if you could, please drop a link to where all these viewers could purchase your book. Um, Also, feel free, guys, for anybody out there to message Chantelle Renee, her page, Chantelle Renee. I have her tagged up there. Feel free to message or reach out to her if you have any questions. If you're in an unfortunate situation where you can't afford to get the book, reach out. Chantelle is, you know, look, the message is more important than the money. So feel free to reach out to Chantelle if you would like to
Indeed.
at least listen to this book. Um, I love you all, and I appreciate you. Thanks for all the shares, your time, and Melissa, namaste, my friend.
Namaste. Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.